I love you. Welcome back to the Couch Potatoes. Come on in, sit down. We got plenty of room here with us. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the Faceless Leon. That's right. We got a big old sectional. And we, just bring your whole family.
I call the full leg of the L, though.
Maybe not, the extended family, but, the people that live with you. They can come over and watch a movie or TV with us. That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
This is not an actual physical location that where you're going to let people come to because of social anxiety.
And you all smell.
Like, fried potatoes, which that part would be lovely.
That part would be nice, yeah. That's one thing about us Gortians is we don't have sweat glands, so we don't really give off a scent, Well, so it's kind of, you guys kind of smell nasty to me. You got so much. Oh, do I give off a scent? Is it fishy? Is that it? Yeah.
No.
They're kind of like an aquarium kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've been told that before, but it kind of smells like the flakes, the parsley flake things that you give goldfish.
Yeah,
anyways.
That's what it smells like salt.
That's
which is, I guess, what sweat
thank
smells
you.
like. Anyways.
Well,
this is Green and Faceless on the couch. And we do a podcast about movies and TV, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's what we're doing. It's a little messy.
Well, here's the thing. Is this is a deep dive, right? This is what we call a deep dive.
I knew that.
We go deep into a movie. And the problem is, the movie we're talking about today is Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. There is plenty to say. I won't lie about that. But a lot has already been said in the last two movies or episodes that we've done.
I kind of feel like that too, but we're gonna do our best. At least we're gonna go through the plot like we do, and we'll see where the conversation leads us.
There's a lot of changes from Mr. Tolkien's book.
Is that true?
So that'll be fun to.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I remember, I don't remember the book that much. The third book is the one I read the least, mainly because it gets boring in the back half. Because the battle happens, and then you have like 100+ pages of aftermath.
Yeah,
the hobbits got to go back to the Shire. The hobbits have to get rid of Saruman in the book, at least, who's in the Shire. Because they don't kill Saruman at Isengard. He flees and he goes to the Shire where he tries to take over and corrupt it, but I think Wormtongue kills him there. I think Wormtongue's still part of it, but he kills him at the Shire.
Okay, well, he was gonna kill him, but Legolas had a hand in it in this version, and that scene is not, I don't think, in this theatrical version. I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't think Christopher Lee's in the theatrical at all.
No, he peers out the window. And that's really it. Like he is so.
Yeah, he doesn't have a speaking line.
From my perspective, I thought he was a prisoner in his own tower.
That's fair.
From the theatrical version. But we watched
for this
the extended
review.
version.
Did you watch? Okay.
Yes, and I have watched the extended version before. But every time I see that, I'm like, oh yeah, that just like it's a completely different ending for Saruman. It's just completely different.
Oh, it's completely different, yeah. And that's the weird thing is like, okay, so here's the thing. When I tell people to watch Lord of the Rings, I tell them to watch all the extended versions. That does turn your 11-hour trip into like a 15-hour journey. It's like completely different. This is the biggest one. The theatrical cut is like 3 hours and 20 minutes, I think.
I thought it was like 4:20.
Here, I got the theatrical running time is 201 minutes, which comes out to 321.
Oh, okay.
The extended cut is 4 hours and 40-some minutes.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I thought, it's a whole hour and a half more.
I had a Monday off, for Martin Luther King Jr. Thank you. To the credit union for recognizing that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Not a lot of places sadly recognize that
I
as a
know,
holiday to give off.
Yeah, I know here in town a lot of the factories don't, and
No, yeah. It was kind of sad to find out that a lot of places were like, no, we're still open. And I was just like, oh. Well, my non-federal credit union decided to close that day. I knew
like the restaurants and stuff would be, but...
I had that Monday off, and I knew I needed to watch this movie. And I was like, all right, this is the perfect time. I know that it's a 4-hour journey. And, you know, I pulled it up, I hit play, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, this is more like a 5-hour journey.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm going to need to order some food. Just the addition of an hour and like 20 extra minutes just changes everything.
It's all day. I'm pretty sure Sarah and I watched it in one sitting. I think we avoided pauses because, you know, we've seen it so many times. So if we needed to go to the bathroom,
you're able to get up and walk around.
It was the theater.
Yeah. And if you were like me, you got up, walked around, and said the lines as you were walking away.
Yeah.
I've seen this one. Oh, I might not have read the book as much, but this is the movie that I've probably watched the most. Mainly because it's very fun.
Yeah.
But I think it was also my brother's favorite. Because I feel like when we were babysitting somebody, and this was the one that he was just like, oh, we gotta put this one on. You know, and I was like, well, we should watch the whole thing.
Fellowship was always my favorite. But this one,
I think
when I, you know, initially was my second favorite, but there's definitely some stuff that the first time I watched this, like, you know, I had seen the other two movies, but there's some stuff in this movie that like actually almost traumatized me. Like, at least in the I don't remember seeing it in the extended version, but in the theatrical part, I recall them flinging the heads of the watch over the wall. Yeah. Okay, they do that. Yeah, that really fucked with me. I was like,
it's disturbing, man. It really is disturbing. Yeah, there's some gruesome tiddly bits in the third movie. I mean, in all of them, they have their gruesome moments. But yeah, this one definitely is the most gruesome.
If we're gonna,
but I would say.
I know you kind of jumped in, and that is towards the beginning, the Saruman stuff, but
we'll get back to that. But I was just wrapping up on the extended bit though, because I recommend to everybody to watch the extended cut instead of the theatrical cut, because I think the theatrical cut, even though it won them the most Oscars, because this movie has the most Oscars, well, it's tied to be fair.
Okay.
It's tied with like 2 other movies, but it won 11 Oscars.
11.
I think the theatrical cut though is sloppy as hell. Like I've seen the theatrical cut,
and some things.
They had to make they had to make so many decisions to cut certain things, but it just feels wrong. And before I forget about this, we'll jump into the synopsis after this. Before I forget though, one of the sloppiest things is that they completely cut out of the theatrical version that the Witch King of Angmar, the leader of the Nazgul or whatever they're called, he breaks Gandalf's staff.
Oh yeah,
he breaks his staff. In the extended cut, they cut that out of the theatrical cut, and so for the first 40 minutes of this film or so, Gandalf's running around like normal with the staff, and then in the back half of the movie, if you're watching the theatrical cut, he just doesn't have his fucking staff anywhere.
Yeah. Hey, was that
and I'm like,
we'll get to this guy later too, but was the slimy guy at the gate, the black captain, was he in the theatrical version? He came out and like parlayed with
I'm not sure. Yeah, he had the teeth, the gross, the helmet that covered his eyes and everything. Yeah.
I wonder if like it really reminded me of Sacha Baron Cohen. I doubt it.
Oh man. I don't know. I don't know who played him.
No, honestly. I have no idea. Okay, well,
yeah, let's get into it. Let's dive into the third act.
Let's do this.
The first act of the third act. Yeah, Celeborn was in the book at the end of it, but he's not in the movie, I don't think.
Celeborn, though? But they have someone casted, though.
Oh, maybe... I know that him and Galadriel are, like, in the final scene, like, in the extended
scene
version.
Where they send the people off to go to the other continent over the...
No, actually, I think it's Aragorn and Arwen's wedding. I think at their wedding is where Galadriel and Celeborn are like seen just in passing. Like they don't have any relevance to this movie pretty much at all.
Okay. Well,
same thing with Elrond. Elrond kind of is. They forced him to have.
He's got some stuff, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's got stuff that was put into the movie, but like not in the book.
No,
he's
not
basically
in the book.
not in the third part.
Nothing to do with that. Okay, well, anyways, let's jump into the synopsis, and as we go, you can talk about how the book is different. The movie, talking about gritty things earlier, the movie starts off with Moida. So,
Moida.
Sméagol, played by Andy Serkis. Andy? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andy
it sounds
Serkis,
wrong, right?
Yeah. But is it right?
It's right. No, it's right.
Okay.
But no, you said it, and there was something in my brain too that was just like, that doesn't sound right. But no, that's
anyhow,
I know and love.
Andy Serkis playing Sméagol as he was before he had contact with the ring, is fishing on his birthday with, I'm guess, either his brother or his partner, but it's played by Thomas Robbins.
Deagle is supposed to be his friend.
His friend with this rhyming name.
Many have stated that they believe there was a romantic interest between them. But Peter Jackson has stated, to my knowledge at least, he has stated that he did not intend any romantic interest, and the only reason that Sméagol calls him my love is because that's just the language of the people. Like when you're talking to your friend, you just call them my love.
Sure, yeah.
Which I can respect.
And
at the same
he's
time,
also like 600.
First time I watched this, yeah, exactly. First time I watched this, though, I was okay with them being a gay couple.
Yeah, I read it as brothers for the longest time, but yeah,
and that's fair.
The way
they are named Deagle and Sméagol.
Yeah, right. But the way that he comes up after Deagle comes out of the river with the ring in his hand and like hugs him from behind, that as an adult speaks to me as a couple.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm okay if they're not. Like, I don't need it to be a thing. Sure. But I'm gonna always view this movie that they were a thing.
Anyhow, Sméagol wants the ring because the ring corrupts, and he kills.
And it's his
Deagle.
birthday.
It's his birthday, and Deagle won't give it over. But Sméagol, strangles. That's the verb. Sméagol strangles him to death, and that's not funny. But he does.
No, it's actually a pretty like crazy scene too. Like the it's not the music, the background sound, the heartbeat. Yeah. That's going on in that scene.
Oh, and Andy Serkis just widening his eyes and shaking.
Great performance.
He's really good. Yeah,
he was so young. It was so crazy.
Now he's
22 years older.
Playing
apes.
Playing apes again?
No, actually, not now.
I was gonna say, like, the last thing I really recall him is in Black Panther 2, and he was barely in that one.
Are they ever gonna do something with Claw? I feel like they have this great villain in Andy Serkis.
Spoilers.
I know, but it's like they never used him.
No, they didn't.
They'll bring him back to life. They have their own their version of the Lazarus Pits and shit. Like, they'll do it. They'll figure it out.
Yeah,
they're resetting the universe anyways. They'll do it. They'll figure it out. Exactly.
Something.
All right, but yeah.
Something dark side.
Sméagol kills.
Sméagol
goes to the dark side.
Yes, he does. And it shows his transformation into what we know and love from the previous film.
Which, I'll be honest, the makeup and the CGI in those areas, it's good. Right. It's a transformation that makes sense to go from his Hobbit look to the Sméagol look.
You forgot the nymph
Gollum.
form, fishy Gollum. You forgot.
Yeah. There's just some moments though where he just kind of looks like the Grinch to me, where he just the effects just look goofy,
He does look like if Dr. Seuss was trying to do something scary. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, there are moments where I just get that, and it's just so odd. But we get to the modern day, the present day, where he is the guide to the new ring bearer, Frodo.
Right.
And as we know from the last movie,
on his way to
Smeagol and Gollum has reawakened in Smeagol. They are, he is two entities again in one mind, basically. Mm-hmm. But both of them this time are driven for one purpose. They both believe that, Frodo, Smeagol has finally accepted Gollum's side of things. Yeah. And he's like, we got to get rid of Frodo and Sam so that we can have the ring again. That's what Smeagol wants. That's what Gollum wants. He's like, fuck it, we're doing it. And he starts leading them to Shelob, which is giant-ass spider. Yeah. But first, before they get there, they have to go through the big fucking green city thing, whatever it's called again. I can't remember where the Nazgul and the armies come out.
Oh, well, like they're like called? Passing this ridge. They're going across this ridge, and they try to go like straight inside. And Schmiegel's like, was that in the last movie? I'm getting it all mixed
no,
up.
but it is in the second. It is in the second book.
Oh, okay.
But it's in the third movie.
Anyways, he has to stop them from getting killed right away. But he also has a plan for them to get killed in a quiet location so that he can take the ring. Yeah, he can't. Yeah. They can't die here because their bodies will get mutilated and torn apart, and he would find the fucking ring. Oh, and Sauron would take the ring, and Gollum does not want that.
That too. Yeah, no, he can't have that.
Yeah.
No, they're too close to the fucker anyways already. He's a giant towering eye. It's scary. But yeah, basically what happens is Sauron finally declares war on Gondor, which we'll get to Gondor soon. And in that declaration of war, like, this city shoots up a giant fucking, like, spark into the sky, and, like, all of Sauron's armies start coming out, and Frodo and Sam are just like, oh shit. Like, they could see. Well, actually, Frodo's very intrigued about putting the ring on and being a dumbass because, the ring corrupts.
Yeah.
But it's really funny to see, like, because that's got to be scary. Like, you're trying to hide, you're trying to sneak into the enemy's headquarters, and then the enemy starts coming out and you see their fucking might.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. That's terrifying. Obviously Sam, Sean Astin as Sam did a great job at, like, relaying that fear while also still trying to be like, Master, don't put the fucking ring on, you dumbass.
Yeah. Like, come on, Master Frodo.
Sam's one of my favorite characters, and I love any moment where he gets to be great, and I feel like that scene's one of those moments, because it's a good moment.
He's got a lot of good moments in this movie, particular, and also some really down moments, and but all very well acted by Sean Astin, though. So,
and I think it's just before cutting off to the Gondor, I think it's just fair to finish with Frodo and Sam up to a point, which is that they climb up these fucking long ass stairs. They get to Shelob's. Well, actually, before they get to Shelob's lair, Gollum pulls his plan to get rid of Sam.
That's right.
He finds an opening. He manipulates Frodo into believing that Sam has been eating all of their food,
sneaking food. Yeah, because Frodo is he's so sympathetic to Gollum that he's blind to his trickery. He also,
and the ring kind of wants it too.
Yeah, the ring wants an opportunity to change hands.
Yeah.
Frodo, his best friend from life, because of his mind is corrupted by the ring, he does not trust him over this little creature, and it's so sad to me. Because it
really is sad.
Because and it's like the logic thing, where it boils down to is like, if you just stop and think for just a second, Sam knows he doesn't need more than one bite of that bread. He knows that. Well, he's not a glutton. He's never once been in his life a glutton. I mean, all hobbits a little bit are gluttons, I think. But he's not like Merry and Pippin.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's smart.
Yeah, like, Frodo falling for this was one of the most infuriating things as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand the corruption. You know, I didn't, as a kid, like, I understood it was affecting his mind and everything, but, like, watching Frodo just turn on Sam in this moment and just be like, leave, I banish you, like, go away from us. To
give him one slice of fairness cake, he did just witness Sam just about murder Schmeagol.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sam totally overreacted, got super violent. And,
and I mean, Smeagol had been
well deserved. Like, Smeagol's trying to kill them, but
he's been pulling little hairs on Sam for quite a long time on this journey now,
Definitely.
So it's like it finally just boiled up to where Sam was he was terrified enough and everything, and he was mad enough that he was just like, I'm fucking killing this goddamn motherfucker. I'm done with it.
And he knew immediately that he went too far, but Frodo still sends him away. And
Frodo's just like, go home, get away from us. And so Frodo and...
Oh, wait, though, that more importantly, though, before Sam left, he offered to take turns with the ring.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's why Frodo really pushed him away. Is because
that was another thing Gollum manipulated that because he was like, he wants it.
Yeah.
He wants it.
The fat hobbits
but
it.
Yeah. But they go off to Shelob's lair. Frodo, of course, not knowing it's Shelob's lair, where he is led into the tunnels and then gets stuck in the webbing.
That's
right. And there's this awesome fight scene where Frodo, has to try to fight a giant ass fucking
good
spider
for a hot second.
He does,
and then she stings him, and Frodo dies.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Frodo's dead now.
Frodo's dead. No, it's so funny too because like. Throughout the entire series, Frodo is the fucking worst when it comes to battle scenes. He always gets fucked. Seriously, he always.
But he is the target. Like, especially when it comes with the Nazgul.
Not with the cave troll, though.
No, that's true. The cave troll didn't know any better. That was just bad luck.
That's the one that was just awful luck, man. It's so stupid of him. But at least here with Shelob, he fought well.
Yeah.
He was doing great. He almost, he'd almost bested it. He got to a point where it had left. He thought it had left. In fact, it was just lying in wait to sting him. Yeah. He's dead now. He's fucked.
He's dead.
Bye, Frodo.
So that's what happened to Frodo, and that's where the ring sits for the rest of the film.
On to Rohan.
On to Rohan. This is where we catch back up with Aragorn, Gimli.
Oh, I guess not Rohan, but Isengard.
That's right. They ride off to Isengard because they know, well, for one, they want to retaliate against Saruman, and they think that the hobbits are there.
Yeah.
But when they arrive, it's already done. I mean, Saruman has been defeated. Almost single-handedly from the efforts of Merry and Pippin. I mean, the Treants, did all the lifting, but
Merry and Pippin organized. They were the generals behind the scenes.
They really were, and it was pretty awesome.
It was great.
And they're like just there being high as fuck, and
they've accomplished their big goal for the entire film trilogy. Right. Now they can just be supporting characters. They can just... That's right. I mean, they can fight some battles. They can scream. And that's pretty much the extent of Merry and Pippin in this movie. Sing a song. Pippin gets to sing.
You know what, though? They do have they each have their character growth moments in this film. Like, being separate actually does strengthen their characters. Because... they realized that they were dependent on one another, and maybe they behaved in a certain way just because it was how they behaved together. And their characters evolve, and I think that that's pretty interesting, and we'll get more into that.
Yeah. Well, especially Pippin. I like his growth. He Pippin's gets a lot of adult.
Oh, yeah, because he was definitely the less mature out of the two.
Yeah. Indeed.
So...
But yeah, you got Saruman, who refuses to come down in the extended version. And that's what we're going to talk about is the extended version. Fuck the theatrical version. Don't watch the theatrical version, kids. Go for the extended.
Unless you
go for
don't
the 4
have
hours and 40
time.
minutes.
Unless
you have enough time. If you're watching Lord of the Rings, you have already allotted time in your life to do so.
Yeah,
as you should.
Fair. That's pretty fair.
I think everybody. I'm going to say everybody should be spending at least 1 month of their entire life watching Lord of the Rings.
That's fair.
Which I think
I've gotten a couple months in.
Yeah. Yeah, you and me, we've already definitely, me and your wife, we've already gotten all of our time, all of that month. I don't know, let's see. The whole journey is about half a day, right? So it's like something to do like all that. 3 is about half a day.
And I will do it like twice a year.
Right, and I'm saying 60, let's say 30, I'm saying 30 days is how much time one person should, spend. So that's 60 times. So, I don't know if I've watched the movie 60 times.
Well, but we also
Definitely
watched
20.
The Ring of Power, and we also watched The Rings of Power, that is.
That's
Lord of the Rings. And The Hobbit.
I'm talking just this trilogy.
And The Hobbit.
Just this trilogy.
All right.
Fuck The Hobbit. Just this trilogy. The Hobbit's awful.
I have also
watched
the old animated Hobbit and the old animated Lord of the Rings. And I counted all, you motherfucker.
You can count it all. I'm saying that a person should be spending 1 month of their life watching just this trilogy.
Yeah, okay.
Just this trilogy.
All right, well, then I got some work to do, I guess. But I have watched a lot.
I feel like you and your wife are definitely, much closer to the 60 than I am. I'm at probably 20, I would say. Max is 20.
I wouldn't wager a guess. But it's been twice a year since Sarah and I have lived together.
So. Yeah, which is easily above 20. But yeah, you got Saruman. He's up there. He's refusing to come down. Gandalf wants him to come down. Gandalf wants him because he has, good intel. He's been in deep with Sauron. He knows Sauron's plans. The only problem is Saruman's a wizard. He's also an evil fuck, and he refuses to come down. He tries to shoot them with fire, which is a cool scene in the extended version. He's just takes his staff and he shoots a bolt of flame down at Gandalf, and Gandalf just takes it. And Gandalf just sits there like, I don't fucking care. Your bullshit fire holds no power over me.
Yeah.
It's great.
But that's because he has, they don't really go into it, but he has a ring that controls fire.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah, so Gandalf just don't fucking care. He takes it like a boss, and then he breaks Saruman's staff, which is a foreshadowing of what's going to happen to Gandalf later.
He should have just kept it. 2 staffs.
Kept it. Well, honestly. I don't know if that would have increased his power. I don't know how their magic works, honestly.
Yeah, that's
but it would have been kind of cool if he's just I'll bring your staff to me.
It could be like a thing how the ring is always connected to Sauron, Like maybe the staff's always connected to the same wizard.
Staff wouldn't work. It's like it's like Harry Potter, where if you take somebody else's wand, it doesn't work the same. Yeah. Okay. Harry Potter.
So, anyways, we already mentioned that there's a kerfuffle where they're trying to convince Grima Wormtongue as well that
played by Chucky.
Yeah, played by Chucky. That he can redeem himself still. Like even it was really cool. Theoden was like, dude, just I know that at one point you were a good man. Come down.
He's like, I know I banished you from Rohan, but we'll talk it out.
Yeah, come down. It's over now. and we'll put you to work or whatever. And
but then Saruman calls, Grima Wormtongue. He's just like, "You're a baby," and Grima's like, "I'm not a baby."
I'm not a
he goes
baby.
to stab him.
Have this butter knife in the gut.
It really is such a pitiful insult that he like flips out on. He's like, "I'm killing Saruman."
I mean, he does also like, swat him to the ground.
It's a shove. You don't go from a shove to "I'm gonna kill you."
It depends how many shoves.
That's fair. I guess that's fair. But no, because he goes to kill Saruman, Legolas is just like, don't do that. We need Saruman for intel. So he shoots real fast and kills Grima, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
For
was
some
Brad
reason,
Dourif?
Yeah,
Brad.
I think that's right. Anyways, like, yeah, it is sad, and I kind of thought that he survived, but then I realized that no, it's the same character, the same counterpart character, but in the Hobbit movies. And that guy after the master dies, he's still around.
Mm. Yeah. My God.
Anyhow,
but yeah, then you with the aftermath of Grima getting shot, Saruman does get killed. Still,
yeah, he falls off the tower and impaled.
It's a brutal fucking scene.
Yeah, some kind of weird architecture that I don't remember what it was for.
Yeah, it's not a mill, but it looks like a mill. It's
it was a water mill. It was a water mill but
it had spikes.
Yeah,
I don't know why your watermill needs spikes, but.
Because he went crazy.
He's sadistic. Everything needs to be villainous. That's true. Oh,
I am Saruman of the many colors and spikes.
And spikes. And for some fucking reason, he was carrying his Palantir, his orb of seeing things.
Yeah,
his crystal ball,
to Sauron as well.
Yeah. He was carrying that. I don't know why he's just walking around carrying it. I mean, it affects your mind. It makes you mad.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe that's what's going on. And, it's hinted, we'll talk about it later, but it's hinted that Denethor also was looking into his own Palantir constantly.
Gotcha.
Which is why he's a little fucked up, crazy mad.
That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah. But, the Palantir Saruman fell with it, and he drops it in his fall, and Lil Pippin is like, ooh, shiny. And he wants it. Shiny.
Yeah. And he's so shiny. He picks it up, but Gandalf snatches it from him real fast, and he's like, this is
Gandalf
dangerous.
understands.
Yeah, he's like, this
don't
is dangerous.
Touch.
But that night, or whatever, Pippin's like, nah, I gotta see that thing.
I gotta look at it, man. I didn't need to look at it.
And he basically
it's kind of funny,
dies.
too. It's a great scene. He basically does. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, though, because he goes up to where Gandalf is sleeping. Gandalf is sleeping with it like a teddy bear.
Yeah.
He loves it.
With his eyes open.
With his eyes open. That's the creepy part. Gandalf is just he's trained himself to go to sleep without closing his eyes. And it's hilarious because clearly doesn't fucking work, does it?
No. He can't actually see what's going on. It's just intimidating.
It's just scary as fuck. It's so funny. I just remember seeing it as a kid and be like, oh god.
Did you ever watch Major Payne?
Yes.
Okay, enough said.
Yes, I did. God, that movie.
We should watch that sometime for the show.
That'd be fun. But yeah, Billy Boy Pippin, he takes it from Gandalf and looks into the eyes of Sauron, or the eye of Sauron.
Right.
He thankfully doesn't give up any information. Good boy Pippin.
Yeah, he's basically
one of the amazing
tortured.
Parts of that.
He's basically mind tortured to death. When they get it out of his hands, he is cold on the ground, and I kid you not,
pretty much catatonic for a few hours.
D&D style, Gandalf ran over there and revivified him. I kid you not.
Yeah.
That is what happened.
Yeah. It's pretty much, yeah.
He died.
If nobody did anything, motherfucker was a vegetable for a while.
Yeah.
Poor Pippin. But thankfully, he did not give up any information about Frodo, so Sauron still knows nothing about that. Up to a point, Sauron knows something, but he doesn't know.
Right.
We'll get there. No spoilers. Frodo might not be dead. But because Sauron knows Pippin is there, he knows that there is this Hobbit with Gandalf. He thinks that's the one who has the ring. And so Gandalf and Pippin have to ride to Gondor.
That's right. And they have intel that Sauron is going to attack Gondor as well.
Yeah.
What's the city's name again? I wanted to say Isildur, but that's a person.
It's a weird fucking name.
Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith, yeah.
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 Anyways, so they're gonna go fight in Minas Tirith, and Aragorn is like, "Hey, this is gonna happen. City. Yeah, this is gonna happen. They're gonna attack my hometown that I never have seen, and and I need your help." And he's like, "What has Gondor ever done for Rohan?" And that's a terrible impersonation of Theoden.
Fuck Theoden in that scene.
It was a little shitty, but at the same time, after you meet Denethor and get to know him, you totally kind understand.
Yeah, you're kind of just like, yeah, fuck that guy.
But it's like, this is the battle for, basically good and evil. The world, yeah.
Middle Earth.
So, yeah, he should be more willing, but I understand there's a lot of things that Theoden has to consider. For one, they just went through a harrowing battle that almost eradicated his people. So I get it.
And also if you know that this war is the end all be all,
right,
you don't want to rush it. You don't want to send all of your troops into the opening battle, because if you lose, you've got no backup.
That's plan. Right.
So it's like, I do get where Theoden's coming from. As a king,
right?
Yes, his reasoning, though, given in the movie as, what has Gondor ever come to our aid? It's like, all right, Dick. Like, I get it, but like, all right.
It was pretty shitty, like, straight to Aragorn's face. But then at the same time, what has Gondor ever done for Aragorn? But anyhow,
Pippin and Gandalf.
Yeah, Pippin and Gandalf. They ride off, and they're trying to convince Denethor, played by John Noble. I believe we talked about.
Oh, I love
it because he actually is in the extended version of the other movie.
Right.
We have talked about him. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but if you don't know, he's our favorite character in this little show called Friends. He plays Walter Bishop. He's an adorable little fucking guy. Yeah. I love John Noble.
An old professor type who loves to smoke weed.
Here he loves to smoke and do acid. But no, here he is, Mad Steward Denethor. That's considers himself king in his own mind because his family has sat as steward forever.
Oh yeah, forever. He was born to be in charge of Minas Tirith, and he's the line. They call it the line of stewards, and so whenever he hears about Aragorn, he's pretty pissy about it. But also, Gandalf is like, hey, when we meet this guy, don't tell him about Boromir, also Aragorn, also Frodo, and the ring, and anything. Just don't talk.
Just shut up, Pippin.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, you idiot.
I love that scene. That scene is great. Because that is the epitome of Gandalf and Pippin's relationship.
Yeah.
Is Gandalf being like, don't touch, and then Pippin being like, okay. Touch.
ADHD. Just like... the dictionary picture of ADHD is...
It's almost like... It's like the first word out of Pippin's mouth, basically, too. Is they walk in there, and then it's just like... Denethor is just like, Gandalf and your little hobbit friend. Pippin's like, Boromir's dead!
Yes! But that's because Denethor has Boromir's horn, and he's like, perhaps you've come to explain this. You don't give him any credit.
I don't. know, but like Pippin just tells all, man, and Gandalf was just like, even with the knowledge that Denethor already knew, you can see that Gandalf is just like, oh my god, Pippin.
Yeah, but his honesty actually impresses Denethor. But the next stupid thing that Pippin does is pledge his service.
Oh god, I can't believe he did it too. It's so stupid.
It was really dumb. But he feels a debt to Boromir. Boromir dying to save his life.
Which is fair. I get it.
He didn't succeed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
However, the problem is Denethor pretty much only loved Boromir. His other son, Faramir, gets no fucking love.
I hate him for that.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
But before he sends Faramir, before Denethor sends Faramir off to his death, to Faramir's death, Gandalf and Pippin basically pull a ploy, and they light the fires of Gondor, which is one of my favorite scenes because it's an amazing fucking helicopter system. Like it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, the helicopter shots of like there's these pyres from Minas Tirith to Rohan that signal that they need aid, and Denethor, I don't think we said, is refusing to do that. He's like, Rohan has never helped Gondor before. We have always fought against this enemy alone.
Right. Yeah. And it's kind of funny. Like, so in the books, Denethor has already lit the fires. Right. There's no need for, all this moment. Because when you think about it, it makes no sense. And I'll explain why. But in the books, he's already asked for aid, and Rohan has refused. And then Rohan receives the red arrow and from Gondor, and that's when he's just like, now we will muster up the might of Rohan. They've sent the red arrow. It's like, it was a big thing. It was a big moment in the books. The reason it makes no sense in the movie is Denethor is as you said, he refuses to light the fires. Right. Why the fuck are they giving manpower then to all of these fucking flames all across the land if Denethor refuses to light it? It's like, why would he keep people there?
Well, like that I think that they might even be of like an ancient order, kind of like
maybe
the Night Watch or something. Like their sworn duty is to watch this signal and light it if they see it.
Totally possible. Like I thought that maybe as well, but it's just like the simplest, Occam's razor of it all is that Gondor and Rohan are both supplying people to each tower along the way. And if they have not ever used it at all for hundreds of years, both people would stop sending people to that. Both
especially
Gondor and Rohan.
Especially since Rohan Theoden was, under Saruman's control for God knows how long.
Yeah.
I understand that. So I
even
think
though it's a beautiful scene,
a different order that instead of going into like your local military, you could go and do this.
And I like that, like it definitely makes sense. It's just like one family per tower for like
that even works.
Like I kind of like that. But it's just so ridiculous though, and like I don't know, you don't want to think about it too much because when you watch the scene, it's so fucking awesome. Nice because it's like you watch all these fires light up, and then it gets to Rohan, and Aragorn sees it, and he has this great moment. It's like one long take watching Viggo Mortensen running down from like his vantage point where he saw the fires get lit. And he runs all the way up to where Theoden and everybody's having their war council, bursts through the doors. It's a great moment for Viggo and Aragorn.
Yeah,
because it's just like when you watch him running up those stairs, like every single time, all I'm thinking of is that fucking dude is leaping up those stairs. He's taking like 3 or 4 at a time.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh my god, if he had tripped, which Maybe it was a stunt double. I don't know. But it's just like, if he had tripped, oh my God, that would have just been like, you would have bashed your head on the stairs. He's running up it so fast. Like, he's got so much energy. He bursts through the doors and he's just like, the beacons are lit. And I'm just like, yeah. Like, I love that scene. It's so good. And then that's when Theoden is just like, then we will fight. And I'm just like, yeah. You cue the metal music and all the people getting on horses. Yeah. It's good.
And good now stuff. That Saruman is dead, we can use Sir Christopher Lee's tracks.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God.
All right.
If you don't know, people, Christopher Lee was also a metalhead and has his own music out there. He
does.
Go listen.
It's mostly totally like him being like doing spooky speak singing, you know, but it's great. Yeah.
Great. It's good shit. I love it.
So
metalheads might not like it. I don't know their thoughts on it, but
what we should ask our friend who's enthusiast.
We will definitely.
So I think it is time for us to take a soda pop break, and then we can come back and talk about.
We're at the halfway point for everybody.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back.
Maybe. I love you. For some reason, I just got this message from the House of Tom Bombadil. Well, I didn't get this message. Sorry. Let me restart. I don't follow this Facebook page, but the House of Tom Bombadil posted, and Facebook decided to show it to me, possibly because we've been talking about Lord of the Rings, and Facebook hears everything, and it's scary. But it said, the gas pump. Do you want to add fuel miles with Advantech? Do you have a rewards card? Do you want a car wash? Do you want a receipt? Me. And it's a picture of Gimli frozen in the snow. just like, please. I just want fuel. Let's consider ourselves back with that.
Is that supposed to be about the EV thing? About the Teslas? What? The Teslas wouldn't start in the cold snap.
Oh, maybe. I think it's just because it's fucking cold outside and you have to sit out there while you're pumping gas.
Yeah.
And then the gas tank is constantly being like, do you want to add this? Do you want to add this? I'm like, no.
Yes, that's true.
Premium.
You go for premium?
No, I don't know why my brain thought premium was. I do
not. Say,
I knew that was going to be the first thing you said.
Well, look, I was thinking, like, you know, maybe they don't know that their card is not built for premium.
No, I know. I knew people too were going to be listening and being like, premium?
What do they drive? A Lambo?
My brain, though, it just seized up at the end there, and I was just like, what's a word that goes with it? I'm like, regular premium. Alright.
Unleaded.
King Theoden, the Must of Rohan. It's going out there. It's going to Gondor. Along the way, Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli and Theoden and everybody are greeted by Elrond. There's been a back plot going on with Arwen. I don't fucking care.
That's true. But I do want to mention that Merry and Éowyn are there too.
Yes, that is true. Merry and Éowyn snuck aboard.
They weren't supposed to come. In fact, Éowyn is next in line for the throne, apparently, of Rohan, at least according
as far
to
as she knows.
Theoden's will.
Wait. That is right. Yeah.
I don't know if that's in the original version or not, but
no.
He specifically says
as in the theater version.
The theater version. Yeah. What did I say?
Yeah. I don't know if it is or not. It's not in the books.
Anyhow, Theoden's like, "Hey, I've had it arranged that if I don't make it back, that you will take over," and she still sneaks out because she wants to fight, and she is, a capable fighter.
Yeah, so, she wants to do her job, do her duty.
That's the same thing
as a Rohanian.
Yes, as a Rohane.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I like that Rohane.
Yeah. Anyways,
goes with the mane of a horse.
Yeah. Oh God, Tolkien and your
but
words.
And that's another thing too that's different from the books is Éowyn. I love this part. We'll talk about it later. Yeah. I want to mention our old roommate. But Éowyn in the books does sneak out. She is part of the Rohan troop that's going towards Gondor. But in the books, the reader never knows that until a certain moment that we'll get to.
Okay.
Here, it's obvious. I think Peter Jackson probably made the decision because, it's kind of hard. A woman can definitely pull off a literary
no to do that nowadays.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you don't want what's her name? Who plays Éowyn?
Oh,
Miranda Otto.
Yeah.
You don't want Miranda Otto to be playing a man. It's like, she can.
Right.
If she wants to, by all means.
If that's like the plot too, but like making it like a twist reveal like it is in the book, that is
very hard to pull off.
Yeah. But I think there is a way to do it where she could have been like, I'm disguising myself as a man, marries my accomplice, and do this. I think that could have worked.
And they get one of the stunt doubles for Merry and Pippin to be like the disguised version of Merry. I sent you a video of there's this really awful scene where they have a wide shot of Pippin. He runs out from behind somebody's back to Faramir on the ground, I think. And it's so fucking funny. I have 50% of my battery left. Right.
It's when
Pippin. Yeah. It's so funny though because it's like Pippin runs and like as I'm watching I'm like, that is not Billy Boyd. Like doesn't even look like him in any way.
I meant to pull it up on my OLED screen just to see if they even tried. Well, I think it was a perspective 15% thing.
Battery.
Okay. Well, I should
still have
we really. Oh. Okay.
I love you. All right, couch potato. So I think we're back. Medium magic. But it's a day later than what the first half of this episode was.
It's actually 2 days.
Maybe a couple days.
Yeah, but that's true. Okay. A couple sleeps later.
Lost a day in there.
Couple sleeps later, we are. And we're ready to go.
Rohan was mustering out.
It was a really long soda pop break, wasn't it?
I don't think
I had a lot of
sodas I know, right?
In that time.
Only about 3, maybe 4.
I don't know.
A whole case.
I think I had 2 yesterday. No,
we have bad habits, couch potatoes.
Yeah, we do. Mine was like not bad.
Our stomachs are caving in fast.
My soda habit was not bad. Like I would have 1 a day maybe. And then
that's pretty good.
And then honestly the dog died and then I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I had 3 months of like this was way back in 2022. I had 3 months of complete sobriety from soda. And I was like, I'm so proud of myself. I don't need it. I don't think about it when I go into the grocery store anymore. I was so happy. And then one day, just randomly, I instinctually grabbed one when I was checking out, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I just rung it up and like walked out with it. And I got to work, and I was just like, "Well, I mean, I bought it. Like, I'm not gonna just not drink it." Like, and then ever since then, I've been back on the horse,
back on the binge. Speaking about being on the horse, there's horses Rohans in these movies. Yes, the Rohans are on the march. And the people of Minas Tirith are awaiting their doom.
Siege.
Yeah.
Well, not under siege yet, but awaiting doom. Yeah. But before the Rohans get anywhere, Elrond makes his presence known in the movie. Not needed whatsoever, but he's like, "Hey, I want you to know that my daughter has decided to choose you over over immortality.
All right, you say not needed at all, but yeah, the love story part of it honestly is not. It's just not done well enough to be an important part. But
no, I mean, like, Arwen needs to be way more important in the movie, and she has like no role.
No,
she's literally just there to be a love interest.
Yeah,
and you know, that's fine. That is pretty much all it is.
More of a role in this.
Oh, what did I say?
No, I'm just saying. You said.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah. Sorry, I get the name.
Not
they
our
are very
fault that Tolkien did that to us.
No, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know. She's not much in Tolkien's books either. Like, you know, to my remembrance, I don't remember Eowyn having a big role.
It's about guys.
I know she's mentioned more in the
being guys in the woods.
Yeah, man,
and maybe touching each other. We don't know.
Some locker room talk here and there. You know.
Yeah. Well, anyhow,
but no, Elrond shows up to the Rohanian people, their muster, and he comes up to Aragorn, tells Aragorn that, you know, Liv Tyler's decided to stay in Middle Earth because she loves him and she's gonna die, and you know, yada yada.
Okay, but
and
the part
he presents,
this part I feel like is important to the plot.
It's very cinematic when he like steps forth and he whips the cloth and everything.
Right, yes, it is. And he had the sword, you know, in the first movie. So like in a trilogy film presentation wise, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And
yeah. It all comes full circle. I'm narking it just so I could do something to it, you know. But it's just like I just find the Arwen story just boring. Like it's
fair.
It's not done well. It's the only thing that I can find in this entire franchise to nitpick about. Let me have something.
I need something to sink my negative claws into, please.
It's the only way I can get out of my system. Don't you understand how critics work?
Oh boy!
But no, he presents the sword of Elendil, or whatever, however you pronounce it, the sword of Isildur that, you know, Isildur used to cut the fingers of Sauron off. Blah blah blah. It's great lore. It was broken. It's been repaired. Aragorn has it, and it's pretty much just a symbol that he is the king of Gondor, that he is the heir of this great line of men, you know, and sadly, it also means that he now has the ability that he now has the opportunity,
right,
to go collect more forces, in a very dangerous way.
Yes, and Gimli is just not about it, but they do follow him down the path, he and Legolas, and they get to this cave, and he's like, I gotta go in, and he's like, this is a bad idea, I'll stay out here. And then Legolas goes in, and he's like, well, I can't let people say that I didn't have the courage to go where an elf went. So
yeah. It's a fun little moment.
Yeah, but also, he has to follow his lover.
Yeah, exactly, of course. But the only reason Aragorn's doing all this is because there's an army of the dead in there that betrayed Isildur during the war of you know, against Sauron,
or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and these dead people, these men who these betrayers, are basically cursed to, you know, to live this horrible afterlife until they're forgiven, or they atone for their sin. And Aragorn's gonna go offer them. Yeah, uphold their oath, and Aragorn's gonna go offer them that chance. This is honestly one of the parts of the movie that I actually don't like, is the Army of the Dead. Basically because it makes the final battle boring, but we'll get to that. I think we should cut to Gondor from there, because that's Aragorn's little journey. Him and the remaining fellowship go off that way. Rohan's going off towards Gondor, and then Gondor's like, all right, we're under siege, or we're about to be.
That's right.
You know, Denethor's going fuck nuts crazy.
It is a pretty fun battle scene. I really enjoy Minas Tirith taking parts of its own wall and just like flinging it and smashing orcs with
you
it.
do what you got to do, right?
Yeah. And it's the same battle. So I don't remember what all happens that first night. But before the battle, Denethor sends out Boromir and his scouting party to, you know, basically go take back
get killed.
Yeah, it was to take back the stronghold that they had to retreat from.
Yeah,
and you know, like Denethor being like, "It's your mess, go fix it." But you know, if he he knows that he's sending his son to his death, but he's mad.
He's just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a really weird scene. I like the scene. I do like the scene. But it is kind of like one of the iconic scenes of Lord of the Rings as well. That's like, I don't know. It's weird. It's a scene where Denethor is just chowing down on food. Just, you know, chomping, messy. It's gross. You know, he's a rich slob with this delicate meal while his men are out dying, and his son even. So you get to see that juxtaposition of these people just getting slaughtered at this place.
Mm-hmm.
All while Billy Boyd is singing a song, Pippin.
Upon the steward's request. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's a good song. Like, Billy Boyd has a beautiful singing voice, but it's so... I don't know. It definitely fits. It all fits. It's in the atmosphere, but it's just like I hate watching him eat.
To show, it's to show how disconnected Denethor is.
Yeah, exactly.
To what's actually going on.
I just can't stand it. It's so gross.
Yeah. The close up on John Noble's chin as the tomato juice drips down it. Yeah, that's really necessary.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. And the way he eats the tomatoes too, I'm just like, just pop it in your fucking mouth, you know?
Right?
It's a tiny grape tomato, like, but he just like bites it in half so that it gets the maximum squirtage, and I'm like, no, you sicken me, John.
That was too. I don't think it's John's fault. I think he was trying to please Peter. Peter has something to do with that, because it's not the first slime mouth. In this movie, no, it is the first one in this movie, but it's not the first one in these movies for sure.
Mm-mm.
Like, you know, you got a lot of Gollum stuff. Actually, at the beginning of the movie during the Gollum transformation,
that's true. Yeah.
Squishes shit through
Peter
his teeth.
is to squirty, juicy food as Quentin Tarantino is to feet.
Yeah, we're calling you out, Peter.
We got you, bud.
Got your number.
What's of that in Beatles Get Back? Can you remember any? You think he found any documentary footage?
In the background, when George was getting really pissed off at Paul, he was he took a bite of a muffin that they were eating with their tea, and he just was smushing it through his teeth out of frustration. And
and Ringo Starr is just chowing down on a turkey leg.
That's right. Yeah. And he looks at George and he says, "One day I'm going to make a band that has a revolving set of famous musicians, and it's going to be really successful."
And I'm also going to do MS Paint art.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fabulous. Were the Beatles in the Lord of the Rings? They should have been.
I don't think so. I don't think Paul or Ringo
They wanted to be.
in.
They wanted to be.
Did they?
I think so. I think they all wanted to play the Hobbits. I think there was a point in time where they were trying to make their own.
They were supposed to be the vultures and Jungle Book.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But something fell through with that. I don't know.
Womp womp. Oh my goodness, where were we?
Oh, you know what? It might have been Paul saying that they are bigger than Jesus. That might have been it.
Oh. Yeah, they were. Nobody can remember when his fucking birthday is. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, they fucked it up right away. Okay, so
yeah,
back to this.
Faramir goes out to his death. He comes back.
He's
and
real
Denethor.
Dead. He's
real dead. He,
until
he's
Billy
breathing, not breathing, but.
Yeah. Billy Boyd sings him back to life, though, and he says, "He's not dead. He's not dead."
But no, like Denethor goes nuts when he sees Faramir's body. He thinks Faramir's dead. Faramir's not. He's just pretty much in a coma.
Right.
And Denethor has him dragged up to the top of the tower at the very top of Minas Tirith, and yeah, pour gasoline everywhere.
Yeah.
And then just set a match. All while Gondor is finally actually under siege. The armies are finally upon it. They're inside the walls even, almost, pretty much. Like, shit's crazy in Gondor. Denethor's just up there, he's like, fuck it. I'm gonna burn my son, I'm gonna burn myself. Yeah. This is the end. This is the end.
To make that not happen, Pippin runs into the battle to find Gandalf, who's magically lost his staff. No.
Magically. If you haven't watched the extended version, it's certainly magical.
In the extended version, we know what happens. I think we already talked about that. Okay.
We did a little bit, Witch King. Yeah.
Witch King.
Day late, remember. 2 days later, guys. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Time doesn't matter in the Lord of the Rings anyways.
No, not really. But especially
like 18
because...
years pass in the books, but like
a lot
5 months in the movies.
Anyhow, where were we? Yeah, but they bring Gandalf back, and they save Faramir, but...
Did you say Boromir?
Denethor catches Faramir, is what I meant. Boromir's still very dead. This is what happens when you rhyme your character names. So Denethor,
Tolkien.
Denethor dies because he catches himself on fire and falls off the tower.
Yeah. That's a great moment too. Like my brother and I remember every time we watch this movie, we always try to track his burning body all the way down because it's like a, it zooms out so that you because Minas Tirith is built into a mountain, and the top of it, like the very where the Lord lives or the steward lives and everything. Right. It's just like this giant protrusion of like a cliff. I don't know how to describe it. Right. But it's just this huge drop that Denethor falls from. And you just see his burning body as the camera pulls out, and you could see all the armies invading Gondor. Yeah. And it's just like, there comes a moment where the body does just disappear, but it's like right when it cuts. Yeah. It's beautiful.
And one of my favorite parts is of that scene is when, Denethor is yelling at his people to do things, and they start listening. And then Gandalf is just like, "Shut the fuck up!" and hits him over the head with something.
With the horse's hooves.
Oh, was
he rears the horse up.
Oh shit! But anyhow, and then he just like takes command. He's like, "You guys know this guy's fucking crazy. Let's get this shit done that we gotta do."
He's on fire. Let the stewardship pass down to the guy who's barely breathing on the pyre.
Also, his he pours oil over his head, right? And I'm pretty sure that John Noble is wearing a wig for Denethor, but he's wearing a different wig. I'm pretty damn sure when he's on the pyre, because I think they really wanted to set him on fire, and they had to use special stuff that wouldn't catch his actual head on fire. So
and a stunt double probably.
Yeah. I don't know that. Well, what the running. For sure. But when he's on the pyre, that close-up of his face, that's his face. Like, I don't think they had, they couldn't make CGI Harrison back then. So.
Maybe they could make really good CGI flames, though. Maybe it was minimal flames.
They could. That's possible. And, they probably could have shot, some flames and just superimpose them as the foreground. And then, it's just the headpiece that catches fire. And, they put it out right away. And, then a stunt double ran down.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe John Noble was like, no, I'm fucking running. I
knew a guy who, that was a thing that he did for films, was be caught on fire. He taught me
there was a
movement for the actor.
I can't remember there's a music video where it's this guy on fire. It's like a Spike. I'm going to get the name wrong. I want to say Spike Jonze, but it might not be Spike Jonze. Hold on a second. It's just like a slow take of this guy running. It is Spike Jonze. Okay, cool. It's Southern California. It's Wax. Wait, I need to know which one's the artist and which one's the singer name. Don't play. Wax by Southern California.
Wax.
Or Southern California by Wax. It's really hard for me to tell. I'm sorry, guys. I just went to the YouTube video, but anyways, it is a Spike Jonze music video, but it's this guy it's a slow video of this guy running on fire, and like, I just remembered watching that when I was in college and just thinking about that guy, and I'm just like, man, that job's either gonna really suck or it's really fucking fun.
Right? Like, you gotta love, well, being on fire.
Oh my god!
All right, so
rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace, Denethor. He's gone. Mm-hmm. Stewardship is now Faramir's, even though he's unconscious. He's waking up. He's coming to.
Right.
The fire's got him excited. He likes that kind of stuff. And now his dad's dead, so there goes a lot of grief.
Yeah. And okay,
I'm sure he'll actually grieve.
So, let's maybe go back to Rohan. So Rohan comes up from the rear and starts taking out, some of the troops and stuff, mostly the Oliphants or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
And
I am embarrassed to admit that I didn't remember going to a zoo. I mean, I definitely went to zoos, but like as a kid, it's really hard to compare like sizes when you're a kid to when I watched this movie. And I don't remember when I exactly watched these movies. I didn't watch them in theaters. I definitely didn't.
I watched this one in theater. This is the only one I watched in the theater.
I don't think I watched this one in theaters, but I think we watched it pretty shortly after it came out. So I would have been like maybe 11 or 12 years old.
Right.
So I definitely gone to zoos, but I didn't have like a good scope of elephant size.
Right.
And when I saw this, I was just like, yeah, that's elephant size.
That's totally how big they are. Yeah, they're skyscraper size. Yeah.
Yeah, oliphants are massive.
Yeah, they're huge.
Oliphants are humongous.
I think they have extra tusks. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
and then like carriages with like 50 plus men on their backs.
Yeah. It's nuts. Like, yeah. So if you're talking about an Asian size elephant, they can fit maybe 5 people on their back, and they do have they do have elephant saddles that do that, but it's really bad for the elephant. Actually, they're not meant to be ridden on.
I didn't know that. Don't do it.
It doesn't bother horses to ride on them. They kind of have evolved.
Can you swing on an elephant's trunk? Are they okay with that?
If you're a child, they could definitely lift you with their trunk. But I don't know about me. I wouldn't bet against it. I wouldn't bet against them being able to lift me with their trunk.
Huh. I'm sure we could figure out a way to ride an elephant without hurting the elephant. Like putting a swing around its neck and then you're just sitting by its mouth.
Just make it, like hold it up with its neck. Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll figure this out. I want to ride like they did the Oliphants, because that is a very intimidating war style to see a shit ton of Oliphants coming at you.
Your siege engine. Yeah, that would be
and trolls and giants and everything. Yeah. It's terrifying. Sauron has a massive army, guys.
He does. But out on the field, the Rohans get pretty fucked. The Rohim?
Yeah. The Rohamians.
They're getting pretty fucked up, but they're taking down elephants and stuff. And
you can't forget King Theoden's epic speech.
Yes,
that he stole from his son, whatever his son's name is, Éomer. Carl Urban would have gotten to say it if they had stuck to the books.
I don't think that's his son though, because his son died.
Whatever.
I think it's his nephew. I think he's.
Wait, is Éowyn not his? Is Éowyn his daughter?
No, Éowyn is his niece.
No, Éowyn's his niece.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, whatever. Still. He in the books is the one who says it.
Oh, okay.
That speech, that fun speech where he's where like King Theoden's like riding up and down the line. I only know it from King Theoden. And just like every time, I've only read the book like I think 2 or 3 times
for him, but maybe
it's so weird when I read the books and I'm like, Éomer, what the fuck?
Helm's Deep.
Well, Éomer in the books, Éomer thinks Theoden's dead at this time because Theoden and Éowyn have already been attacked by the Witch King.
Oh, okay.
And then Éomer gives that speech to the remaining Rohanians, whatever, and then they write in the Rohums. Rohirrim.
The Rohirrim.
That's
that
right.
That makes him sound like
Rohirrim.
Like, kind of gives it a sexy ring a little bit.
If you guys have made it this late in episode 3, we have used these words previously, so we're not entirely stupid. We're just, moderately. We have
moderately
ADHD.
Stupid. So
we forget things.
We do. Anyhow, there's this awesome moment where the Witch King is like just about to kill Theoden, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, he picks up his horse and throws it, and Theoden's just laying under the horse.
That's right. And Éowyn and Merry pop in and start trying to fight the Witch King. He's fucking him up pretty bad. And then he's like, no man could kill me, or whatever exactly he says. And then Éowyn whips off her helmet and says, I am no man. And she stabs him in the face, and there's this big, huge soul explosion, or whatever happens.
It's fucking great, man.
It's pretty cool.
And you reminded me, because I mentioned this earlier in the first half of the episode, we had a roommate once. We hated this guy. Well, I hated this guy. You tolerated the guy.
It ended poorly.
It did end poorly. It ended very poorly. But I remember we watched Lord of the Rings together, and he complained so fucking heavily about this scene because it's not in the books. It's a guy who kills the Witch King. And I said to him, no, it's not. And he's like, yes, it is. I've read the books. I'm like, so have I. She was pretending to be a guy. She revealed herself in that scene and says the words, I am no man. Like, I remember that. I remember reading that. And he's like, that's not how it was. He was so adamant against this woman having this epic moment in this movie.
And it was usually about feminist things that he would get upset about. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very, very against it because he thought it was a gender swap. Just so they could have this woke moment. I mean, it wasn't woke in 2003, but that's what it basically was.
Yeah, that was what his position was, anyways. Yeah,
I literally just pulled it up on the internet and was like, "Here, man, this is literally it." And he was like, "No, I don't believe that." And I'm like, "This is literally the Wikipedia showing it."
He's like,
with the text.
This is like the next best thing to pulling out the book, mister.
I can go up to my room and get it, man.
Oh, yeah, he was the worst. Anyhow.
Irritated the crap out of me.
After that point, Éowyn passes out after a nice speech with Theoden where he dies.
Her arm's basically broken too. Yeah. Like that blast went through her whole body.
That's right.
Oof.
It was a pretty awesome moment, but she does.
And same with Mary. Mary stabbed him in the back of the leg, and it burned his hand.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It affected him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she passes out, and also I guess then just to kind of wrap up the actual battle, just kind of feels like out of nowhere. But in the extended version, they do build it up by allowing the Ghost to take over some of the Men of the East's ships. And that's like the only other time that you see the Men of the East, except for in the Two Towers. I guess they're riding the elephants, aren't they?
Yeah, that's another issue.
They're, but yeah, they don't go into the Men of the East very much.
No. There's a moment where Frodo and Sam, I think it's a cut moment in the theater version, but in the extended version, there's a moment where they see the elephants.
Yes. That's in the original that's as well.
Sorry, the Olifants.
Yeah. I thought that was in the Two Towers, but maybe it's in the beginning of this movie. It's so long.
I'm not sure. Yeah. 4 hours and 40 minutes, folks. But yeah, like it really is out of nowhere when the dead come, and that's when I hate it. That's a moment that I actually don't like in this movie.
It's a plot flaw because it's too.
It really undermines the entire battle.
Yeah,
because it's just like they have fought so freaking hard this entire battle. Helm's Deep,
right?
You feel like they're at their very last, stand. They go out to make their last stand when the Rohirrim come. Like when Karl Urban shows up with Gandalf and everybody and they ride down. But that was built up. You knew they were coming because Gandalf said all that stuff beforehand.
Right.
So that was established.
Yeah.
And in here, you kind of knew that Aragorn was coming with an army of the dead. But there's no, there's no consequence. Nobody's going to die in the army of the dead. They just sweep through and kill everything.
There's the scene in the cave, but it's not a difficult enough task for Aragorn to overcome to get this. Like, all he had to do was have the sword. That's all he had to do.
And Legolas had to surf some skulls.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
But I don't hate
the dead. Yeah. It's annoying that like this huge epic battle literally just comes to end with, it's almost like a Deus Ex Machina where it's like the dead army shows up.
Definitely.
And then they just run through. They literally just swarm an Olifant and drag it down.
Right. Yeah. And I think I liked the effect too, but they needed to establish that it was going to happen more. Like, they needed to have the background with Isildur and these people more established. Like, maybe even in the Fellowship. I agree. To make that feel like, oh yeah, they're gonna mess with this. Like, then we'd get excited about it. You know? But okay.
And then it sets up an even more annoying plot point, which is that Gimli makes so much logical sense. Once the battle is over with, the dead come up to Aragorn and they say, "All right, we fought for you. It's time for you to uphold your bargain. Let us be free." And Gimli's like, "No, we haven't taken care of Sauron yet. You just fucking know they don't deserve this shit. Keep them fighting for us until we take care of Sauron. Then you can let them go."
Right.
But then Aragorn's like, "Nah, we're gonna let him go." And it's just like, if you had just kept the army of the dead.
Yeah, it would have been so easy. Like, once they got to Mordor, whatever. We're good there.
No issue. Well, yeah, we're good. We're good. We don't need to complain about it too much. Let's be honest.
But I think it was just supposed to be a character moment for Aragorn, but it kind of just reads as, okay, we did that thing, and now we're done with that thing. Yeah, it was just very... Yeah. It felt pasted together.
But now Rohan and Gondor are together, which means we can cut back to the separated Frodo and Sam.
Can we? Are we done with that? I do want to mention that in the extended version, you don't get this in the theatrical version. There is these healing scenes with Éowyn and Boromir, and they start, a relationship is completely unnecessary.
No, but I mean, it makes sense, though, because she has been so dedicated to Aragorn.
Right.
So to be able to cut that triangle and just be like, she's no longer going to be pining for Aragorn. Right. Aragorn can be with Arwen when this is all over. Like, it cuts that triangle, so it's necessary for that and that alone. and it also
it didn't make it to the theatrical cut, so I don't think it mattered. But
no, it didn't.
Yeah, it being in the books, like, you know, in the books, you want to know what happens to everybody, but in a movie, you gotta cut somewhere, and I understand why that got cut.
Yeah, but it's another nice moment for Aragorn though, because like that's a moment where you get like this healing touch of the king, where it's like the king, you know, he comes into Gondor, it's his big return, and he comes there not only saving it, but then also healing it. He starts healing all the wounded and, you know, helping out and everything. And it's just like, it's a great moment for, you know,
yes, Jesus,
for the beginning of a reign.
We get it.
yes, my lord. Yes.
The return of the king.
The white tree. Thank you. It is your movie. Thank you.
So now let's go to Frodo now.
Yeah, Frodo's locked up. He's in orc prison.
Yeah, he got scooped up by some orcs, and they took him up a tower. And Sam's convinced that he's dead because he found him.
Yeah, definitely.
He decided to go back
until he heard.
Yeah, he decided to go back after he found the lamnus bread spread out at the base of the. And it's like, okay, dude, you knew that you didn't do it.
Yeah. It's such a weird, it's just like, I feel like it was just like he got there and saw it and it just enraged him.
Yeah.
Because it was just like a moment where he was just like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
I'm not taking this shit.
Yeah, that's definitely what
I'm going to go kill that little Gimli or Gollum fuck.
That little Gimli Gollum. Gimli! So he goes back up, he finds Sam all wrapped up and, you know, still, and just assumes that he's dead, as we did. And then he hears the orcs coming, and one of the orcs is like, "No, he ain't dead. This is what a spider likes to do. It's like a little playtime, you know." Oh, la 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 la.
Dude, that was good.
Oh, thanks.
That was pretty good. Your face was great, too. I love that.
I don't have one.
I always love when voice actors make faces. It's great. Well, I mean, your clay molded into, like, well, it is, I can't remember if it's clay. I think it's clay, right?
It's
was that insensitive?
Some kind of polymer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, I guess I sometimes when I do impressions, I accidentally mold my face into the people.
It kind of looked like the Thing. It was pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Marvel's the Thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Not John Carpenter's the
Clobber
Thing.
in Time. I know what you're talking about. But at first I thought you were talking about John Carpenter. And I was like, okay.
You're like, oh, ouch. Thank you. Oh my god. But no, they take Frodo, the orcs do, to orc prison where they undress him.
Yes.
And
I'm taking a shiny shirt.
He might become a little unspoiled. Who knows?
Yeah. Just a little unspoiled. A little spoiled, that is.
A little spoiled. But Sam comes to his rescue after they start a fight.
The shiny shirt, though, if you haven't been listen to the other two episodes, it's a mithril shirt that he got from his Uncle Bilbo.
I don't know if we mentioned it in the other two episodes.
Well, I think we did in the Fellowship because we talked about the troll stabbing scene.
Oh yeah, where Frodo's just a dumbass.
I think we talked about that scene anyways.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Go back and listen to it and let us know if we did or not. We ain't gonna go.
So, Sam rescues Frodo, and he's actually pretty badass. It's an epic scene. It's
nice. Yeah. Sticks him with the pointy end.
Yes.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong franchise.
Is it?
That's Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. I kind of remember, like, one of the Hobbits saying that. But
I mean, it's very possible, honestly, sticking with the pointy end. I mean, it's all you do with a sword.
That's what you do. I feel like
it's lesson number one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So... Damn it, where were we? So, yeah, okay. Sam saves him, And then Frodo is so fucking upset because he's convinced that they got the ring and that Sauron's going to have the ring. But when Sam
Frodo
thought
failed.
he was dead, he said, well, I got to take this up. And so he took the ring. Yeah. But he does...
He's a hero.
He is a hero. And he does go to give it back to Frodo. I just hit my mics, so I'll just say that again. So he gives it back to Frodo, but when he does, you can see that he has hesitation. And then he realizes that he is hesitating, and he's like, oh, yep, I feel it. I'll let you take care of it, and I will help you.
It's very interesting, though, too, where Sam's hesitation comes from.
Right.
Because, like, even though there's no dialogue or anything, you can tell that Sam's hesitation isn't that he wants to keep the ring.
Right.
It's that he wants to keep the ring because he thinks Frodo is too hooked.
Yeah, definitely.
He wants it because he thinks it's, it's probably best that he finish the job.
Right. Because
Frodo is just too far gone.
Right.
And,
which still
honestly,
could
if he
have
had kept
made...
it, who knows?
Yeah. But, I mean, it still would have made for a good story if, say, Frodo died.
Oh, yeah.
And Sam had to go on.
Oh, yeah.
But I do like how it shakes out. So, are we continuing on with what happens next?
Well, we can build up just like the movie, or are we just finishing and like saying like, we'll let you all experience.
Yeah, because like so after this, we know where it's all been heading, and that is Frodo taking the ring to Mount Doom to destroy it. And I guess we could talk about that.
Everybody else having the big old battle scene.
I guess I just don't really care to talk about the 14 endings. Because that's...
Yeah, we don't need to do that part. Yeah.
Especially in the extended
ever
version.
After.
Yeah, everybody, except for those who
Frodo
died.
lives without one finger.
Yeah. And maybe we'll let you
nobody
see
else
that
dies,
too.
though.
Okay, no, I think it's important because we need to know what happened to Gollum. So when they're in...
Yeah.
When they're in the... Right before they get to Mount Doom, to the cave anyways, Gollum shows up and attacks them. And they
from
best
the skies.
Yeah.
He's on top of some boulders, really. But it's a great moment when he appears in the top of the screen.
Yes.
I do remember seeing that. Like, it wasn't on the big screen, but it was on like a big television, and just being like, yeah, like that moment looks great when he crawls up over that boulder.
Yes,
that was some good CGI. It's very creepy.
Yes, it is very creepy. It is a very good penultimate Golem scene, and the ultimate Golem scene is pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
So when they get into the cave, Frodo's about to throw it in, and just like Elrond, Sam's like, "Throw it in, Frodo!" And
cast it into the fire.
Cast it into the fire. And
well, I also love the moments where he's just like yelling Frodo because he's like he can't see him in the fog, and then you just hear like Frodo from the distance. I'm here, Sam. I just love them. I'm here, Sam.
But
Frodo's just like looking lovingly at the ring.
Yes. But eventually, Frodo's like, "No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it."
No.
And then he gets attacked by Gollum. So first he like puts on the ring, and Gollum jumps on him while he's invisible, and he bites the ring off, and consequently, all three of them, this being Gollum, Frodo, and the ring, fall over the edge towards the lava.
Yeah.
And Frodo dies.
Which is... Well, it's a great moment, too. It's just because it's just like, in the book, Gollum just falls. Like, he bites Frodo's finger off, and then he's so excited and happy that he finally has the ring that he's, he just walks backward and just falls off the cliff because he didn't, he wasn't thinking about spatial awareness.
Right.
And it's like, it's a great moment. Like, it works in the books. But in the movies, that would have just been very anticlimactic.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
If like, Gollum just like, look, a ring, trip. But then, so you have this issue now that Peter Jackson's faced with. How do you do it? How do you get the ring to go into the fires?
Yeah. And
keep the importance of Frodo, breaking at the end.
Right.
And all that. And I think he found the right the right way to do it, because it's like you don't want Frodo to push Gollum. You don't want it to be murder.
Right.
Because then Frodo is not saved. He's still broken.
Right.
So the fact that they struggle,
he's still broken at the
and in the end, yeah. Yeah. But like the fact that they struggle and that that eventually it's just they all fall off.
Yeah.
Great ending. I think Peter Jackson found the right way to do that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
And that's the end of the movie.
Yep, Frodo's dead, Gollum's dead.
I do actually like it what happens once the ring is destroyed and Sauron's tower falls and whatever collapses, and basically all of Mordor collapses. And it just perfectly cuts through the ranks of the orcs and the men, and it kills all the darkness, not the light. That part was the only part that I was like, oh, come on.
It's cinematic silliness, honestly. But the funny part is when the giant runs away, or the troll. I fucking love when that cave troll just turns around. He's just like, fuck this. Just starts running.
I was thinking during that scene, it would be really interesting to like have a mini series about like a small group of orcs that got away from that, and they're like, now we have to figure out how to live in a post Mordor society. Like,
oh my god, that'd be interesting. Yeah. Well, talk to the Ring of Power guys.
I will.
Once they finish that show.
All right. So, are we doing closing statements, or is there more you want to say?
I think we are.
Okay.
No, I think we're doing closing statements. I love this one. This one, it deserved all of the applause it got. 11 Oscars out of 11 nominations. Only movie to do that. There's 2 other movies that have gotten 11 Oscar wins. I don't remember which ones they are. But like, that's impressive. Nobody can accomplish that. It's fucking hard. So it deserved him. It was really great. I do think some of the effects of the Dead Army are a little dated. Sure. But it's fine. It's not really that big of a deal.
I thought. Like, it wasn't like overcomplicated, and that's why it worked. Yeah, they're just like a neon green slime color, but it looks fine. Like, it's good. Yeah.
It's really good. And like the battles are amazing. I love all the battles, even though the ending of the one with the Dead Army is a little sad.
Yeah.
It's still a good battle. Like everything up to that moment is amazing. And so I love it. I think it is better than the book. I honestly think all of them are better than the books. I think the books are amazing and everybody should read them. But I think this is one of the few examples where the movie went above and beyond. It's like read the books to get the background, the world history, the beautiful Tolkien-ness of it all. But if you don't have the time to read the books, take the 15 hours to watch the movies. But before I rate it, I have to say that this year, along with I have a new blog out. I'm doing blogs. If you want my opinions on newer movies and TV shows, that's where you'll find it. It's at Green Traveler Reviews 4.wordpress.com. That's the number 4.
The number 4, okay.
Yeah, so Green Traveler Reviews 4.wordpress.com. I believe. We'll try to remember to link it somewhere, or you could just go to my Facebook, Instagram page and find it. But because of this new blog, I used to do a blog way before we did a podcast.
Right.
And the only reason I stopped doing it was because we did a podcast. And it dawned on me this year that I could do both.
¿Por qué no los dos?
It don't matter. Yeah, we don't do a lot of new movies on this podcast. It's like, and we do some, but like I can do it in both places. It don't matter. If you are interested, if you don't want to read the reviews and you are interested in my opinions on newer stuff, you can go down to patreon.com/greenandfaceless. We have a explicit episode called Bangers and Hash.
That's right. It's a game
where
show
many of those opinions will be heard.
Ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, with ourselves as the judge. It's not biased at all. It's wonderful. Well, we're trying to figure out ways to revamp it, but and maybe you can help with that if you become a patron. We love feedback.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, because of the new blog, I started that up again. it has an embedded star rating system. And that star rating system is out of 5 stars. So I'm forced into a 5-star system on the blog. And I thought, this whole year for me is about embracing change and being okay with change. And therefore, I've decided to change my rating system of movies to a 5-star rating system. I know it'll be confusing, especially since I'm giving this one a 5-star. But that's all I wanted to say is I'm giving it 5 stars out of 5 stars. If you've listened to older episodes, those were 4-star reviews. Uh-huh. Don't think me cruel for never ever giving a 5-star before, because I did.
It changed. It changed. But I do, I'm not going to make you go backlog and fix all those, but I do want to know what your new score for Fellowship and The Two Towers would be.
I think they're all 5s.
Yeah.
Still.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because I can never not watch them. It's like I feel like there's never going to be a Harry Potter moment with Lord of the Rings.
No.
It's like anything can come out about Tolkien, and I'll still be like, I don't care. Tolkien's dead. He can't ruin it any further. Right. This is still a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Whereas Harry Potter is something that was great when I was a kid. She ruined it for me. She continues to ruin it. And now I can no longer just look at the product without hearing her highly critical and annoying voice.
Right.
So
I agree.
It's Lord of the Rings is just a masterpiece that can't be touched.
Right. It's a classic at this point.
Yeah.
Undisputable. So I love this movie. It's another face and a half for the trilogy. And I think The Fellowship is still my only 2-face movie. And yeah, I still love this movie. And for a long time, I put it at second, but I think it might be my 3rd favorite. Just because there is a little bit of sloppiness in it. For all the awards that it got. Yeah. It's just it's an epic film. Like, it definitely has gravitas, when you watch it and whatever. But it just is a touch sloppy. And I'm not going to say that there isn't any sloppiness in the other 2. But yeah.
I think there's a sweet middle point between the extended cut and the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Like, I think
for sure
there's like a 30-minute middle ground.
Right.
Where it's like, just a perfectly 4-hour-long movie. You find 45 minutes to cut, and it's almost perfect. In regards to, like, no more slop.
Yeah, I think that could work. Because there's definitely some things that just are straight up confusing if you've watched the theatrical version over and over again.
Where does fucking staff go? Use your fucking staff!
Why don't you have magic anymore? What happened to you? Like, did I miss a line? Man. Did he say I'm too close to Morador or something?
My power's diluted. I don't get it. No, I agree with you. I think of the trilogy, this being the end of the playlist, I think of the trilogy, end of the playlist right now.
Right.
I'm sure we will do The Hobbit someday.
Yes.
And you can always check out our first season of Rings of Power. Is the second season out yet? It's not out yet.
No, I do believe it comes out in February, though.
Oh, fabulous. Nice. Yeah. I still need to watch
at least sometime this year. I
haven't even tried on that.
It was actually pretty good. I think I liked it better than season 1.
Nice. That's good. That's good to hear. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. Fellowship wins. It was the best of the 3. It's just the one that has the best fantasy feel, I think. Yeah. The other ones have great war, great battle scenes. They're very epic. They're perfection of their own, but I agree with you. I think Fellowship has that. I don't know. There's something about it that's just magical to me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It just, I think it's the Shire, really. Like, it's just, it starts off in such a bright place. Yeah.
And that's another trilogy too,
is just great.
Yeah. Lord of the Return of the King just completely cuts out the Scourge of the Shire, which is like the big ending of the books. In the books, the hobbits come back to the Shire to find that Saruman and a bunch of like small hobbit gangs have taken it over, kind of thing. including the Saxville Bagginses. They're like villains in the Shire. And like the four hobbits rid the Shire of the evil. Basically, that's their the final adventure of their journey is like destroying the evil that is taking over the Shire and returning their home back to this peaceful land so that they can finally fucking rest. Which, like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad the movie cut that out because that would have been another hour and a half.
Yeah, definitely didn't need that. But for the book, like, epilogues are fun in books, I think. Yeah, people want to know
and it's a good
what happened to the people.
Yeah. And boy, is there a lot of that at the end of this movie.
Yeah. So we're going to leave the 14 endings for done. You. Yes. The king returns. That's the big important one, okay?
Yeah.
And I think we talked about Frodo going to the other continent already as well with Bilbo and Gandalf. But yeah. That's the
Legolas
show.
and Gimli build a home together.
That's right. We're
talking about
right
all
next to
I'm
Tom
sorry,
Bombadil.
Stop. We're done. Nope, we're done.
It's the cottages right next to Tom Bombadil and Goodberry.
Oh,
all right.
I love it. Well, I'm the Green Traveler from Gorsh. Thanks for sticking around with us.
And I am the Faceless Leon. We love you. Safe travels and good night.
That was a kiss in case it wasn't clear.
Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.